This will be the easiest stud we have to pull it. Hey, you know what? You even have to...
Oh no. Oh, buddy. Yeah, but I was under the hole. You know, look at a bubbling cauldron. What the fuck?
One eternity later.
We gotta pull this cylinder head off. We've taken the liberty of, or Jackie has actually, Miss Mechanic Jackie. While I was working on a few Kennedy toolbox restorations I got going for my super secret old man YouTube channel that nobody knows about.
I don't know, it's you.
Nobody's gonna know it's me. I just do
Because I
super.
just wear the same pants as the other guys.
Yeah, I wear overalls and stuff, and I work on like Kennedy cabinets and like big Vista, Stanley, Vidmark, Lista, whatever cabinets. So she was working on the car. She got the intake pulled off. She got the header pulled off. She's working on the other header, and then you know, of course, I get jealous because now there's all kinds of cool stuff going on over here. Now there's like intake ports wide open and all the cool stuff. So I had some FOMO. So now I'm here.
So now you're here to do the cool part.
Now that's exactly
and then
right.
Leave when it's not fun again.
That's exactly what? Excuse me?
And then you'll go back to the Kennedy stuff when
Excuse me?
it's not fun.
Oh, ugly Kennedy's over there. There we go. That's pretty good. For all of our YouTube peoples, let's not tell anybody about the inside of this motor, okay? Keep that between us.
And also never admitting.
Sorry, I was checking the focus on the camera here. Brother.
This was the worst idea.
It's the what?
I said this was the worst idea.
What's the bad idea?
Fucking stud thing.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. Fuck that.
Holy shit.
What is it?
Annoying.
Did you say annoying?
Mm-hmm.
Oh my god. Yeah, I think those are retarded. Whew, I do love a TND rocker. Good lord. Those are so nice. Super nice. spring pressure you have, nitrous motor?
Free 80 free stuff.
Yeah, that's it. Good old free 80 free stuff.
What are you doing for our friends?
For what?
For our friends that might not know what you're doing, maybe tell them what you're doing.
Oh, so to pull the head off, you got to be able to get to all the head studs, and to do that, you got to take the rocker stand off, and to take that off, you got to take the rockers off. So
Yep.
I'm rotating the motor till both push rods, intake and exhaust, are on the base circle of the cam, so at the lowest point, so you have a lash here, so that when you take these nuts loose, it doesn't bang. And I set this on 25, which is about what you torque these to. If you can't tell, I think they're quite a bit tight. But maybe nitrous guy's even tighter than turbo guys. Front. Okay. All of the monster push rods are out. Whoa! Holy moly, I never. What a great idea. Huh. Well, see, on most cylinder heads, if you look right here, on most cylinder heads, they have a slot for each push rod. But because your ports are moved over so far, and you have offset lifters so far, they just cut out the center divider that the two push rods go through so that you got more room.
For activities.
Yeah, and probably because the intake valve is rolled so far.
Stop.
You know, cheater ass shit.
Stop it.
I mean, the goddamn ports are raised, what, 3 inches it looks like?
I did see on the block it full out says raised cam. Like they're just gonna out me like that.
Yeah, look. See, that's why I had to do all that cam sync shit, guys. When GM made this block,
This was one of those one-off deals, you know.
this is a raised cam GM
It was
block.
like 1 of 13.
Whenever, what?
Along with like the
1300 horsepower.
66 Camaros
Whenever,
or whatever year that was.
Yeah, whenever GM made this block, they must have had a problem, because you can see there used to be a distributor hole there. They must have had a problem with
They
the.
conveniently moved it up here so that you have more access to it.
Yeah, they must. I'm guessing, just by looking at it, I'm guessing there must be a problem with that hole, like it was drilled off center or something, or you know, I don't know. But they just plugged it, and then they
They figured,
center drilled a hole in it for, I'm guessing, oil, maybe. Maybe they're, you know,
Anyway,
the drain back of the oil.
don't you got something to do?
Oh no, it's threaded. What? Oh yeah, I'm gonna get to the bottom of that.
Anyway,
I mean, you know, it's a rare deal there. GM. Wow, that's weird. Everything else on these fucking motors felt like it was like that right there. I can tell that when they torqued this down, they didn't go back and retorque the centers, so they torqued and torqued out like they did a circle pattern, which is what I usually do. But then when you do that, you know, the center torques down, then the two sides torque down, and then the center is raised. So you got to go back and hit these again. Or that's what I do anyway.
Pontiac guy stuff.
Yeah, you know, because, you know, well, Pontiacs just
Yeah,
just
I
don't
got
have
that in
that.
my head bolt.
They just don't have the fasteners. And you would think, you know, like, of all the fasteners that they don't have, how they got 2 of them underneath the corner of these rails on my motor pisses me off. I'd be willing to bet, we call Sheldon at TND, I bet you a lot of these parts in your valve train and the one in my Pontiac motor, I bet a lot of them are interchangeable. Dude, I mean, honestly, the rails are close, like close. I'd be willing to bet that your rails have a lot less mileage. Your whole thing has a lot less mileage than mine, but these are my rockers out of my motor.
Means pretty close.
Dude, your rockers are offset way. Whoa, what the fuck? How much
Those
more
are
offset do you
Pontiac.
have? Oh my god. Can you see the difference?
They're sisters, not twins. Okay?
Maybe, so this is an intake since it's a symmetrical or whatever, not symmetrical, Siamese. So 2 ports side by side. So this is intake rocker, this is intake rocker, intake port, intake port. So you can see mine has been moved over a little bit, so it's off center. So the port was moved over. Yours, on the other hand, look how much your port is moved over from mine.
Yeah.
Like if you were to put a push rod in this right here, it would go through the middle of your port on your motor. That's how much bigger your ports are. So basically, from here to here is my port. Like that's the port on my motor basically. That's crazy, dude. I didn't know they could do that far. Look at the length of them. Holy shit.
Yeah, yours are above the middle.
What ratio is this?
Stop.
I've done some modifications to mine. Okay, so it's
Looks
been,
nice.
it's been through some shit. Dude, that's close. Whoop. It's kind of hard to tell, but these nuts
Got it.
on this studs here, the top of this nut is thinner because the stud inside is thicker. The stud inside is thinner and the nut's thicker on top. That ring around the top is thicker. And that's so you can use the same socket on everything. But that also makes it to where if when you're torquing this deal down, if you don't know that these are smaller, you could potentially torque those way heavier. Surely you ain't gotta pull these fucking springs to get that nut out, right?
Weird.
That head stud is between the 2 spring pockets, the exhaust spring pockets in the center. We can't get it out with those there. So we're gonna have to remove these 2 springs in order to be able to get that head stud loose and get the nut out. So in order to remove the springs while they're on the motor, you need to be able to compress these springs and then pull these locks off the top because they're held by a tapered lock. So T&D makes this tool. So here's your stand. So your rocker bolts to the stand with that shaft. Well, T&D makes this fake rocker shaft that bolts down here, and then you use the shaft bolted to the head. This goes in the shaft, and then this sits down on top of the spring, and then you use this fancy welded knurled amazing wrench here. It pops down onto there, and it gives you the leverage to compress the spring, get the spiral locks off, remove the spring. You can also use this if you put a if you had a gauge, strain gauge or whatever on this, you could check the spring pressure if you wanted, which we may have to do on this thing as much as it's got all the damn time. So we're gonna have to put the stand back on, and then we're gonna have to compress those springs. The problem is when you try to compress those springs, it's gonna act like a rocker, and it's just gonna compress, it's just gonna move the valve. So we have to take air, put it in the cylinder. That's going to push the valve up into the head where the valve stays shut and the spring compresses around it so you can get the lock off. do it, motherfucker. Don't do it. Okay. There we go. Now fix that. There we go. Can you look underneath it and make sure it's not pumping all the oil out of it? Okay, thank you. Good God. That's a lot of valve spring. You see it raise up when I took it off? This one down here by my finger when I pull my finger out. Okay, so now what we're gonna do is we're gonna move this over. We're gonna pressurize this one, take this spring off, pull that nut off, out, whatever. Then put this spring back on, move it back over, put that spring back on. All I know is that we're gonna have to figure out a better way to do it than this, obviously, which, you know, I'm sure we call chicken in the morning. I'd be like, oh no, yeah, you didn't have to do all that. But because if we tear a piston up in this thing somewhere and we gotta change it, like, we're not gonna be able to do all this.
The hardest part of changing a piston is taking the spring off.
Yeah, I mean everything. Yeah. Let's hope this thing just don't take off and run. Whoa, don't do it, boy. Don't do it, boy. Right now you're hearing air come out of here. Hear it? And you're probably hearing a little bit out of it. So it's sucking air here, it's blowing air out here. That's because the motor hasn't ran in a while, so the valve isn't sealing against the seat the way it should, and the rings or the intake valve on the other side isn't sealing all the way. So now, no more.
Nice.
See? Fuck me. Woo, that's a bad motherfucker. God damn. I don't know what the seat pressure is on that, but it is fucking up there, dog.
Loud.
Real loud. Seat pressure is real loud. How much seat pressure this thing got? Fucking loud. But how much seat pressure over the nose though? Oh, it's real loud over the nose. Oh yeah. Look at that. Coming out. Look how high this spring footer goes. See, I wouldn't know nothing about that. I only got cams at 850 inch lift. I don't know what the fuck this thing is. But it's a lot. What the fuck is that noise?
That's like gurgling.
Oh, hey,
It's the missing stud.
let's push some pressure out of there. I ain't supposed to. Oh, it's pushing pressure out of this one now. I don't know, it might just be the head gasket ain't wanting it because everything's cold. I don't fucking know, that's weird. Never seen it. You think that this thing ain't sealed up. You know what I mean? Head gasket. Something ain't sealed up. This will be the easiest stud we have to pull out. Hey, you know what? You even have to...
Oh no. Oh buddy. That light always sounds like a hell. is it a bubbling cauldron? What the fuck?
Just sit up there like you're supposed to. Are you too good for your home? Oh yeah. That's it right there. Yeah. First try.
Oh boy. Oh. So bad.
Yeah. Here we go. I'm just having a good time. It's a good day. And, you know, like
It's a good day for you.
it is. It's a good day for me. You're right. It is. You know why? Because, you know, I just like it. I like experiencing what new motors, different motors, stuff that I'm not used to. I like experiencing how they work, how they go together, what, you know, what they got going on. And then I also like experiencing, like, I can't lie. It's kind of fun to see, like, okay, so this is what it looks like to have, you know, decent flowing heads. So what all struggles do they have to deal with, you know, for the added bonus? And so it's like, oh, okay, that's not too bad, that's not too bad, that's not too bad. But then it's like, oh, damn, that kind of sucks. But if it goes out there, when it does run, it goes out there and kicks everybody's ass, and it's like, you know, I might do that. All right, what we got here? What are you thinking? What are you guessing?
What?
What do you guess these fucking heads does this torque to?
Too much, clearly.
You think there's too much? This is 60, which is 5 over, I think, what they're supposed to be. Kind of moved. It kind of moved. And so, let's go up to what I think could have happened, which would be 75-ish. And let's see if we can break them loose without clicking the wrench. Yep. Well, that's good. That means they're not 75. So then what the fuck is the problem here? God bless it. Small box Chevrolets call for
Enormous wrenches.
big coordinates, I guess. Baddest man in the whole damn town.
Whoa.
That's right, buddy. And don't you forget it. I'm gonna set it at 70. 70. So, this guy here tells you what it takes to bust these loose.
What did he tell you?
Well, you want to see? If you come over here, you can see it. Okay, so, see? Can you see? See there's numbers on it? It'll go to a max as it busts loose. Did you see it?
It's hard to see on the camera,
Okay.
but I might be able to see better on real life,
Okay.
like editing. I think it's 63 maybe.
67. It keeps it like a old odometer
Like a-
tech. Like a telltale.
memory?
Huh?
Has a memory.
Yep.
Don't forget shit.
It's an elephant. You got memory like an elephant. I mean, they weren't torqued. They weren't torqued too dang over much, too much, you know. It's weird, but I had one of them that was maybe 70, 75, or 74, and then one of them was 67. Nothing too crazy. Oh, that one went up there. That one's 74.8. 72.6. 68.0. 71.1. 71.5. 70 something. 77.7. Weird. Creepy. 74.3. Okay, well, that's it. So they were torqued. They were all torqued. Well, my best guess is that because they all beep pretty much. So my best guess is that they were all torqued 75. Small ones, big ones, all of them. Make a note that the last head stud on the driver's side was bottomed out in the block. Rest of them seem fine. Oh, because that's right. They're stepped on the bottom, remember? Mm-hmm. So that step can't come up through the cylinder head hole. Okay, but that one should come out. You should be able to pop that one out, and hopefully that one, I think, maybe. Hopefully the head will come off with the studs still on board. Okay. What's the hold up? There we go. Yeah, buddy. Ooh.
It's in the block. It is the gasket.
Okay, cool. Is there anything sticking up on that head stud?
Yeah.
It is? Yeah. Something is?
It's
oh, fuck yes.
This much out.
Oh, yeah. Fuck yeah. Good. We're in good shape. Okay, so we're gonna pull this guy up a little bit right there. We're gonna hold him. And we're gonna unscrew these studs. Yep. Almost. Hang on. Pull the heads up a little more. Yep, now let's go.
This one.
Huh? Oh shit, I didn't even get that one. Okay, now. There we go. Oh, it's the gasket. I can hear it now. Okay. Oh man, I should have forced them out of there. I thought it was the head, but it's a fucking gasket. I got it. What a pain in the ass that was. I'll make sure when it goes back together, it'll never be that hard again. I found all kinds of bugs. Found some bugs.
Mm-hmm. It didn't even break at the threads part.
Huh?
It didn't even break at the threads part.
What the fuck?
Like you can see, it's just smooth.
God damn, look at this thing.
Yeah.
What the fuck? Are you serious?
Yep. This thing has problems.
It looks like it fucking was in a boat and it sank.
Yeah.
Damn. So there's your air.
Can you take this off?
Yeah.
It stinks. Need to retrain them.
Yeah. And that's why there ain't
And
no
right
point.
at that hole.
Yeah, there ain't no point in running a fucking. I don't see any point in running a flat copper gasket that's got rings in it that ain't gonna do anything. You gotta have rings in the block and rings in the head. Well, with a nitro steel, you might be able to get away with just rings in the block, but receiver grooves in the head. This is a joke. When I was bringing the head over here, it made some noise. Do that?
Mm-hmm.
That is a broken valve spring.
Man.
Dude, for a fucking... So I was wrong. I thought that the edge of this looked like where the thread started. But apparently... Nope. Apparently the threads are way down there. We got extremely freaking lucky on this deal because we thought that it was going to be broke down in there and we'd have to figure out a way to get the stud out. But here we are. Stud is above.
He's out.
He's out.
He's
so,
ready to leave.
Well, you know, he said, let's make like a turd and head out.
Wow.
And this one said... This one said, let's make like a fart and blow this hole. Alright.
Oh boy.
So let's get... What's the chances on this just twisting out of here?
The rest?
Or what's the chances I'm going to have to weld a tap wrench or something to it?
I hope not.
You say that just because you know how shitty my welds are or what? Oh my god, you were just... You're not supposed to laugh, asshole. So, did you ever in this problem? You just can't grab any channel lock. Okay? You got to go for something that's from Deutschland. It's got them teeth on it. Get some teeth on it. Put them teeth on it, big dog. Okay. Cross your fingers. Oh, baby, we're so fucking lucky. I could have got that out of the fucking head on the goddamn car.
Well, obviously the head needed to come off, so...
Yeah, I mean,
on that.
true, but I think I could have got it out with the head on the car. But, no, I mean, you're right. It's.
I mean, we had much bigger problems than we ever knew.
Oh.
Can you not?
A left-handed drill with a guide. I'd have built a guide out of a fucking cap screw. I'd have put it in there and it'd have pulled that thing right out of there and I'd look like a fucking champion. But then we'd have got it running. It would have smoked and broke a ring and fucking...
You already had a broke valve spring.
Your old fucking water tank in the back there would have looked like a swole up homemade biscuit. Fixed it. Hey, when you get the bill, call me. We'll go over it together.
Yeah, we will. I'll find some way to pay for that deal.
Yeah, you will too. Oh yeah, boy. So, what we need now is we need new studs, new gaskets. Well, let's talk about the gaskets. It is of my opinion, I realize that you're anxious to race. I realize you're already missing races every weekend that we're supposed to be at. But it is of my opinion that we O-ring this deal. I don't know. I mean, I guess we'll talk to the people that do this for a living. But I would like to see an O-ring in the block, a receiver groove in the head. See what happens when fire tries to get between here. All you have is a flat block. You have a copper gasket, and then you have a flat cylinder head. that copper gasket has some sort of a stainless or what tool steel ring or something in it to try and help, but it doesn't do anything. It doesn't cut into the block, doesn't cut into the head. So now you have a gasket that has a ring in it that's like trying to pinch that ring between the block and the head, but there's no, I don't know how to say it. There's no actual squid, there's no actual pinch. There's no W, you know what I mean? You need a W. Trying to clamp your hand together, put an air hose in here and try and keep the air from going between your hands. It's gonna happen. Well, okay, now put a copper gasket between there and squish it down with bolts and shit. It's gonna be tough. But if you were to take this and you put the air this way, the air then has to go up, over, down, over, up, you know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Don't work. So I would suggest doing an O-ring in the block and an O-ring in the head.
Mm-hmm.
That's what mine has. So you get you get this. So you got an O-ring, instead of having a receiver groove in the head. So like most nitrous guys have a receiver groove in the head, O-ring in the block. So when you do this, the gasket gets pinched between these two, and it keeps the fire from going out, because the fire would have to go. It's not gonna happen. So, but what I do with only 10 head bolts is I do O-ring, and then it. So the receiver groove, we make the receiver groove into the 80 thousandths gasket. So then you got.
Yeah.
Yeah. But.
I think we talked about it over there that one day.
But we might not need. You might not need to do that. You might just need all the other nitrous stuff I worked on only had O-ring in the block, receiver groove in the head. So you might get away with that. But so we need to talk about that, and then we also need to talk about how far we want to take. You know how it goes, like how far we want to take, like how far we want to go with this deal. Because if it was mine and we were trying to keep this thing and race it for a while, I'd dry deck it and I'd O-ring it, and then I'd probably run a hone, and maybe ring it, bearing it if it needs bearings. But the problem is the time. We could run a hone through it, ring it, bearing it if it needs it, clean the decks up, make sure it ain't warped, then put new gaskets like it had on it, or Cometic gaskets, whatever they recommend, shove it out the door, and we can go race it all summer, and we may not have to fuck with it till wintertime. As far as time goes, this isn't going to cost us anything but 3 days we've already messed with it. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Because we'll take this shit out, take it to Gerald or whatever, and then we got plenty of other shit to do on the car. By the time he gets done with it, we'll be ready to fire it.
Yeah.
But money, it's up to you on that. That's a pretty bad dude. He's a pretty bad dude. I figure with them head studs being torqued down possibly too tight, I figured it might have some dips in it or something, but I mean, you can hear it. It's perfect. I would say this thing just needs cleaned up and maybe lap the valves in and rock and roll. It ain't even the slightest bit warped. I would say that you got a good cylinder heads, you got a good block, you got 15 good valve springs. Mm-hmm. That's a plus. Mm-hmm. And if you count that it's an inner, you really got 15 and a half.
Or just 31 out of 32.
Yeah, but them little ones don't do as much as them big ones.
Oh, okay.
I would say.
Don't discredit them.
I'm not. I would say clean these up, maybe lap the valves in. obviously pull the rest of the motor apart, get it to machine shop, run a hone in it, or whatever we're going to do with these heads, or if we're going to receiver groove or O-ring the block or whatever. And then we just got to call Kevin at Total Seal Monday morning, see if we can get some.
Call Chicky and ask about the spring situation.
Yeah, I'll check the bore also and see what it looks like. That way we can kind of have an idea on what Kevin needs to do. And then honestly, it's just going to be getting gaskets. And if it's just a flat copper gasket, SCE can have them to us in, you know, a day, because it's not much. It's just literally it's just a flat piece of copper, you know what I mean? I mean, it's a special piece of copper, I'm sure, but they don't have to do anything to it, like put crazy wires or anything in it like these. But they also might have these in stock too, I don't know. So I just need to clean everything up, write some part numbers down, get the rest of the motor tore apart, and then I'll probably take the YouTube people along with me over to Gerald's Monday morning. I'm trying to talk him into starting a YouTube channel.
He said I could film it for him.
Look how long that's been broke. So hopefully next time we turn this camera on, we'll be loading all of her stuff up to go over to Gerald's, and we'll have a plan, and then we'll let you guys in on our plan. And we'll go spend money of hers.